Hey guys, it's Peyton, and today I'm starting off another reading vlog. This is supposed to be week 2 of a readathon that I'm currently doing. It is the Green Gables readathon that my friend Brittany from Brittany and Books is doing, and Kath from Solace and Stories is doing. Both of their channels will be linked down below. It's based off of the Anne of Green Gables book, but it's just a readathon that you can read any type of books for. Here are the challenges, and it's 2 weeks. You can just read anything, but you can also read Anne of Green Gables if you want to. I've been low-key doing it, and I have a whole vlog from last week where I tried to do 100 pages a day of reading at least. You have to go watch that to see if I was successful. I did a lot of reading though. And there is a whole printout situation. Like, here is my TBR, which by the way, my TBR is chaotic because I don't know how to stick to a TBR for my whole freaking life. Like, if I had a gun to my head and they said stick to this TBR or you die, like it wouldn't work out. I would be dead, So, and here is the books read situation. So I have 3 of these filled out, and why did I say it like that? Filled out? It's a little bit country or something. Like, what's going on there? And then there's like 4 blanks, or is there 5? Holy shit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is that lawnmower like over here attacking me right now? That is disrespectful. So there's a blank right here, Anne of Green Gables, but it's not really a challenge. I really have to just do this shit right here, okay? That lawnmower is needing to go. That's not okay. There is a bingo board that I can color in when I finish a challenge, but I'm trying not to stress myself out. But this vlog, I've decided, is actually going to be stressful. Because I'm going to try to read 5 books in this vlog. So that is stressful because it's like a week. And there's like 31 days, I think, in May. I kind of jacked it up because I wrote 30. Let's pretend that didn't happen. So there's 31 days. So I think I have 9 days in this week right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 days for this vlog right now. So I have a little bit of extra time with you during this vlog to actually accomplish this goal. And I don't have a job or much of a life. The only thing really trying to stop me is migraines and my boyfriend. So we are going to try our absolute hardest to read 5 books in this weekly reading vlog, okay? Are we going to do it? Is it going to happen? We're going to find out together. We're going to go through my TBR. We're going to figure out what challenges it's going to meet, because I am trying to complete the rest of these challenges. It's going to bother me if I don't. We're going to see. So the other challenges that I need to fill out. So there's an honorary group book, which is obviously Anne of Green Gables. I really want to actually do this. Brittany is going to absolutely
destroy me, murder me, kill me in my sleep
if I do not actually read this. I promised her I would, so I have 9 days to do this. There's illustrations in this copy. There is just the cutest freaking copy in the world that I own right now. So I need to read this. And it would do the accomplishment of the group book. So it would strike this bingo board out. And it would strike out the challenge of Prince Edward Island, read a book set in Canada or written by a Canadian author. That would be freaking nice. It would color in this little box right here. The next challenge that I have to complete is Kindred Spirits, read a book featuring a strong friendship or a buddy read with your kindred spirit. So a book that I am currently reading, that I was reading throughout last week's vlog, so if you watched that vlog, you probably already know, is The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. I have been really enjoying this book. It's pretty much about a witch. Who would have thought? It is a high fantasy YA book. This girl pretty much has the power of necromancy. She can bring people back from the dead, and the whole beginning of this book is really about her brother dying. It's literally the tagline of the book. It says, "Let me be clear, I never intended to raise my brother from his grave." So she accidentally raises her brother from the dead. She finds out, oh shit, I can do that. I can raise people from the dead, and in her society, the bone witches are the people that can do necromancy, and they're really frowned upon. I guess people are just really scared of those people. They're really shit on. So she's having to rewire her own thinking and realize, you know, I am a bone witch, and they're not so bad, so oh shit, like, I need to realize that people are terrible. These people aren't actually bad people. Like, my family is shit for thinking that these people are bad people to begin with. She moves across the freaking country, learns to be an Asha, which is pretty much these witches, and they have all these... Can this lawnmower, like, freaking F off? Like, this is not okay. I'm a Peyton Reads channel over here, talking about books. You don't want to interrupt this. This is important. So the Asha are pretty much just these magical people, and the bone witches are a part of them. They're just like a separate genre of them, you know. They're a different category of them. And the Asha are fun because they do have like elemental magic and things like that, but they also learn separate things like dancing and musical things, and they sing, they dance. I literally just said that. They do magic, but they also are performance people. So it's an interesting world we're building here, but we also have dual timelines. We see the main character T, we see her in the future. In between each chapter, we see her as the bone witch she becomes. We see her talking to a person about her life as a bone witch. We see the present chapters of her becoming a bone witch and her training to be a bone witch. We see that she is going to become a really badass bone witch, so I'm really intrigued to see where this trilogy goes. I'm excited about this trilogy. She does have a really sweet friendship developing between her and her brother, and that's why I'm going to use it for the challenge for Kindred Spirits, a book with a strong friendship, because her and her brother do have a cute friendship developing. Once I finish it, which hopefully will be today, because I have like 100 pages-ish left, I will use it for that challenge, and it's going to be one of the 5 books I finish for this week. Another challenge I need to complete is Marilla's Raspberry Cordial. Read a book with red or pink on the cover. For this, I'm going to be doing Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I am 32 pages into this. I have started this in April, and I really enjoyed what I read of it so far, but I just didn't continue on. I kept reading other things, and I'm super excited to keep reading this. I think I'm going to love it. It's about a girl with fibromyalgia. She has a chronic illness. I have some chronic illnesses, and I'm recently dealing with them, so I'm really excited to read about a girl with a chronic illness who is deciding she wants to get a freaking life, and she's making a list for herself of things to do to get a life, and she recently moves out of her mansion that she lived with her family for so long, and she meets a dude. It seems to be a hate to love situation. It's a romance, it's an adult romance, and I've just heard nothing but good things about this romance situation, so I'm super excited to read it. And the last challenge that I need to complete is Anne and Gilbert read a book with a slow burn romance. And for this, I am going to try to read the companion to Chloe Brown, which is Take a Hint, Danny Brown by Talia Hibbert. And this is about Chloe Brown's sister, because Chloe Brown has 2 sisters, which I was already introduced to in that book, because I read 32 pages of it. And, you know, I already got introduced to the freaking whole family, and I'm really excited about that whole freaking trilogy. I already ordered the other 2. Like, I'm prepared to binge the whole freaking trilogy, so super excited about it, and hopefully I can just binge the whole thing right now. Don't know too much about Danny's personal situation. I just know it's another adult romance. Today I got in the mail book freaking stickers. I forgot what they're called, but when they give you signed personalized stickers to put in your books, Aiden Thomas, oh my gosh, Cemetery Boys and Lost in the Neverwoods. I literally didn't even know I was getting this. It was like a pre-order incentive, and I just completely forgot about it. So freaking happy about it. It's so cool. Oh, there's another book I'm trying to read, but it has nothing to do with any of the challenges. So that's the 5th book I'm trying to read. It is A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by, I forgot the author's name. It has nothing to do with the challenges, but I'm currently listening to this book on audio. I normally have a headache, like every freaking day. I like to have an audiobook on hand, so this is the audiobook I'm currently listening to, and I'm like 20 something percent into it. I'm probably going to finish it at some point in this week, and it'll probably be like my 5th book. This is about a girl who is a baker, and she was going to be spending her summer in Miami because that's where she lives. But her family decides she needs to have a change in her life and sends her off to a family friend in England so she can work in their bakery. And she is not happy about it, but she meets this guy who works at this tea shop, and they spend time in England together. So far it's fun. I don't know, like the main character slightly annoyed me because she's so cocky about her baking skills, and like that kind of was like, dude, she was a little rude to the lady who owns this bakery because she's just like, no, your pastries suck, mine are superior. I'm like, dude, why are you so cocky about your pastries? Like, you need to chill a little bit. Maybe she could teach you something. I'm interested to keep reading it, and maybe it's going to be a 3 or 4 stars. We'll see. Hey everyone, it is the next day. I actually have finished 2 books since I've seen you, so it's been a bit, and I hate being on camera when I have a ponytail because I feel like a little dude. I feel like a little boy. So I finished The Bone Witch last night, or was it last night? I don't freaking know. But I really enjoyed this book. I'm so excited to read the sequel and the whole rest of the trilogy. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, but there's so many tabs in here. And wow, I really must emphasize that this writer has such a beautiful, lovely writing style. My main color tab that I had going on here was green tabs, and that is beautiful quotes. So stunning writing style. Like, she just had some powerful lines that I kept going like, oh my gosh, you are smart. Like, I just really loved what was going on here, and I just felt like this was developing something chaotic and crazy because, you know, the dual timelines of the past and the future. I just felt like the thing in the future is really hinting at something crazy in the future of this trilogy, and I really want to read the other 2 books and see what's going on, because while this is a 4-star, I'm so invested in this magical world and the necromancy, and I'm like, I would love to be in this magical world because, like, oh my god, if one of my family members died, if I'm the Bone Witch, I'm gonna just resurrect you and they live as long as I live. Like, that's so convenient. And then there's other freaking Asha people that can do elemental magic. Like, this is the best magical world out of all of the magical worlds. The birds need to stop chirping. Like, girl, it's like 3 o'clock or something. It's not morning time. You're acting like it just started the day. Like, what is going on here? I highly recommend this as a fantasy series, and if you're wanting to start a new magical fantasy series that gives off good energy and good vibes, this is one to start. And romantically, if you're looking for a romance, there wasn't much here, but I do get a sense by the end of the book that there is going to be something eventually. There might be a love triangle or something happening, but I don't think it's going to be something crazy. I think there is going to be, like, the dude that she has a lot of banter in this book, I feel like he's going to be the endgame guy that actually is the one in the 3rd book that we are with. If there is a romance in this trilogy at all, like, that is my guess. But the guy that our main character has a crush on, I don't think that's going to be her man. Like, you know, if she is with a man at all, you know, because there is characters that are hinted at being gay in this book. So this book really has everything. There is everything here for me. I'm really excited about this trilogy. And one, beautiful cover, my favorite color, purple. Like, everything about this book was absolutely stunning, beautiful. I think I've been watching too much books with Chloe because she's always saying stunning. Like, ew, like, why am I saying that now? I mean, it's a fun word, so it's okay. Another book that I just finished today, I was reorganizing a bunch of things on my bookshelves, and I know people are like, why didn't you just film that for a video? I have trouble filming videos like that because I just don't feel like it's enough for a video, because I just rearranged a few things to make things fit, and it really wouldn't have been enough for a video. So I just made things fit a little bit better, and I'm happy with it. I moved some Funko Pops too, make things cute and special and funky. So I finished listening to A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. I gave this a solid 3-star. Honestly, I almost gave it a 2-star or 2.5. I have no feelings on this, and someone commented on my video from last week about how the author had very little research on Africa, because there is a girl, the main character's best friend Stephanie, goes on a trip to Africa, and it mentions it a few times, and it does seem like there's very little research. So definitely keep that in mind. It's not my place to know, though, if that is badly researched, I just definitely think, like, keep that in mind if you're going to read this book, because it could be offensive, I just didn't really feel anything for the romance, and this is like a YA contemporary romance. I didn't feel anything, and I mostly was just here for the baking. I enjoyed listening to her bake food, and that's it. And I had no feelings at all about anything that happened. So it was just okay. It was pretty much just a background book. And I think if I read this physically, I would have hated it, honestly. I feel like I would have just got really bored, because it wasn't one of those books that had a lot of substance for me, where I really connected with the main character and like crying for her or anything. So it just, I just didn't vibe with it like I wanted to. So I'm sorry. It didn't hit me the way I wanted it to. There's some YA contemporaries where I really like understand deeply the main character's emotions and everything, but for this, I just was here for the main character's journey and was listening to her everyday life, and that was it. I didn't really deeply connect or anything, like I was just here, I was listening to it while I was cleaning my room, and that was pretty much it. I didn't hate it or anything. It was just here. So I gave it a 3 stars because it wasn't bad or anything. So last night I actually started Anne of Green Gables. Finally. Because that's what I'm doing a readathon for. So thank goodness I finally started it. I would have freaking hated myself if I never started this. And I'm actually really enjoying it. We have 3 tabs in here. Oh my goodness. I got 50 pages into this book. And there is a ribbon bookmark. So it's all fancy. My copy is so freaking nice and cute. I'm enjoying it, specifically because the main character, Anne, is so cute. Like, she is the most talkative person ever. It's all about an orphan who was at an asylum, and this little family, this little couple who lives on these Green Gables, I guess this little farm, and they decide one day they want a little boy to help them at this place to get work done, and then the dude shows up at these train tracks or whatever to pick up the little boy, and it's a little girl, and they're like, oh shit, that's not what I wanted. And then the dude doesn't have the heart to tell the girl because she's so excited, so he brings her home to the wife, and the wife is pissed, and then the little girl is so freaking sad and like brokenhearted, as any freaking orphan would be. Once again, no one wants the orphan, so that's the place I'm at right now. I'm guessing it's going to be like a heartwarming story about an orphan with this family and growing to love each other. But wow, I'm really liking the writing style. There's definitely been some banging quotes. The writing style is pretty and beautiful, and I definitely think Anne, the main character, I can understand why this has been like a lasting classic. Like, everybody loves this freaking book because Anne, the main character, is such a special freaking person. She just talks your freaking ear off, and I didn't know she was that type of character. I thought she'd be more of a quiet freaking person. I was dead freaking wrong. She talks your freaking ear off, and that's what's so quirky about her. People freaking love her for that. She appreciates nature so freaking much, and that's why she's so happy about this farm, and that's why she was so sad, because she thought she was going to have to leave it. But we all know there has to be some sort of happy ending here, that this family is probably going to keep her, I hope. I'm actually really excited to continue reading this today. Like, I'm actually excited to read it. And I was scared because I was trying to check the page number. The last sentence is about gods in heaven. And I was like, what did Brittany try to make me read? Because, like, nothing against God or anything. But, like, I didn't want some religious freaking text or something. I don't think it's going to be like that. It just happened to be, like, a quote. So, okay. I didn't think Brittany would do me like that. So, I mean, she's been hyping this book up forever. So far, it's a heartwarming thing, and it's making me feel cozy inside. So I'm actually really enjoying this, and I think I'm going to be able to fly through it. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat lunch, a really freaking late lunch, okay? I might possibly work out, but I really don't freaking want to. And then I'm going to shower and, like, get ready for the day and, like, have a fun, cozy time reading this. Maybe see my boyfriend. No, I probably will see my boyfriend. Watch Pretty Little Liars later because that's all I do with my life. And yeah, gonna read some more of this book. Everyone, I am back again. It's been a few days. I haven't been updating as much because I've been trying to read and waiting for me to have thoughts. You know, I don't want to update if I don't have thoughts yet. So I'm here again. My freaking seat is squeaky. We got SpongeBob joining us. Do you have thoughts, SpongeBob? Imagination. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yesterday, I made homemade ravioli with my friend Reagan. That was an experience. Look at my baby ravioli in my hand. So proud. Look at the finished product. Literally never thought I could do it. So freaking proud. So I'm currently on page 255 of Anne and Green Gables. We got some tabs in here in this golden book. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun, cozy read. I just haven't had a lot of thoughts to say. She is a talkative queen. Anne Shirley. She talks a lot. Most of this book is just her dialogue, and I don't mind it. This book, like, I looked it up, like, it was written like 18 something, if I am, like, right. Okay, like, I don't know. This is one of the few classics that I really, like, am vibing with. A lot of Jesus talk, a lot of God talk. You know, you have to look past all of the religious stuff because, you know, like, it was the time that was happening. It's just, like, so heartwarming to see Anne melt the hearts of everyone that she meets, because her personality really just jumps off the page. And I'm really glad that this readathon made me read this, and I already got the freaking whole box set on my wish list because I'm like, you know, I feel like this would be a fun thing to just read because none of the books are really big, and, you know, why not? Like, it's a cozy, fun time. Like, any sad moments makes you happy by the end of it. You know, there's a moral, there's a happy moment by the end of each chapter. I love seeing her melt these little bitches, these cold-hearted bitches that we saw at the beginning. I love seeing her melt their ice cold hearts. Also, just all of the imagery of the farm. It's just so freaking cozy. Like, I just really love the vibes. I'm living for this whole dream. It's like a whole dream realm. But at the same time, I feel like I would have enjoyed it more if I was a kid. I can see why this is such a nostalgic pick, because I don't feel like I can give it a full 5 stars. I feel like 5-star is such a thing that, like, it's your all-time favorite book. I'm sobbing thinking about it, so I feel like it's gonna end up being a 4-star, but, like, I really enjoyed it 4-star. I'm trying to be more picky with my 5 stars. I have started an audiobook. I have not told you about this, and I'm almost done with it. I have been zooming through audiobooks because I've been in the mood for some YA contemporaries, and those audiobooks go by like a flash of lightning because it's just so short. Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant. I've been wanting to read this. It is on my most anticipated books of 2021. It came out in January. I've owned it since January. I'm finally getting around to reading it, and I'm enjoying it. There is a thing that's happening though. That's one of my least favorite things, but I think I can get past it. It's a personal problem I have in life. It's happened to me like 3 times. It's when a character thinks that they can like break up a relationship because they really like a guy. Even if the girl, like if you really are like liking a guy but that guy is in a relationship already, even if that girl really sucks, she obviously sucks, you don't break up a relationship, dude. You just don't. Like, that's just not something you should do. And you know, she's 16, so she's living and learning, and you know, it's obvious to me that this book acknowledges that that's not cute, because there's other characters. There's like one character that says that that's not cute. So if this book wasn't saying that, I would absolutely be like, this is so annoying. But I think it's going to like come around and be like, hey, don't do that, that's annoying. But yeah, this character, like, I like it, I'm enjoying it. She has made several mistakes, but she's a 16-year-old girl. Like, that is a thing 16-year-old girls do. You make mistakes. So I'm having fun. She is a writer. She writes all the time. She writes romances, and she loves to do that. And this freaking year, she's going to a school that specializes in the arts. She's so excited about it. But oh shit, as soon as she gets there, she finds out that every single day she's gonna have to present some of her writing, and that just destroys her. She completely dies. Her creative well is destroyed. It is gone. It is never coming back type shit. So her friend Caroline decides, well, if we're gonna get your romance stories to come back, how about we create a romance in your life? So there's this guy, Nico, in her creative writing class that they're trying to set her up with, but Nico has a girlfriend. So like, why did they think this is a good idea? There's a dude next door named Sam that she's friends with, who's obviously cute. So she's friends with this guy named Sam. He's obviously the cute one, but you know, we're dealing with this dude named Nico. So like, what's going on here? But Sam is a baker. That's adorable. So I am enjoying this book. For now, I think it's going to be a 4-star, but what I'm super excited about for this book is there's going to be a sequel called One True Loves, and I love that because, I mean, there's no information about the description, so I don't know if it's going to be like a companion or if it's going to follow this main character, Tessa. I hope it follows Tessa, because I feel like if it follows her, it could be so much better than this book. And like, I'm enjoying this book for real, but there's just things that have annoyed me, and I feel like this book, this sequel, could like bump up to a 5 stars, because this book has like so many things that are like really fun. I love the way she's a writer, and like I love her family, and like I just feel like we could hit something really good with the sequel. There's also a lot of Harry Potter references, and I've noticed even without the J.K. Rowling scandal of her being a transphobic bitch, without that, I've realized just every freaking YA contemporary you ever read, you open it and it's just like, oh my god, Harry Potter this, Harry Potter that. I'm like, bitch, can we be original? Can we have a new thing? Can we think of something else? Because what the heck? That's all y'all be doing. And like, I used to enjoy it, but the more and more I read, it's like that's all y'all talk about. Can we talk about something else? Super cute so far, and I'm almost done with it. I'm probably gonna finish it today. I have like 100 pages left. I got like 100 pages-ish of this left too, so I might finish both of these today, and that's like 4 books finished for the week so far. Holy shit. And then I'm trying to read these 2 books, and these 2 books would knock out the rest of the challenges, but I'm trying to really go for something over here and try to read 2 more books. Like, what am I doing? Like, I'm really trying to kill myself over here. Like, I'm trying to wipe myself out. We're gonna see if it happens. If it doesn't, then I'm just gonna use these books for the challenges. Hello everyone, we have a lot to catch up on. I have been gone for a couple days because I got hit with like a 3-day migraine, and you know, that shit happens. But believe it or not, I have read 4 books while I have been gone. And obviously, there were 2 books that I was in the middle of before I freaking died. And you know, it's been like 2 seconds since I've last seen you, because I've edited this vlog together. And it's still the same freaking week. We're in the readathon, and it's the 30th. We're almost done with this readathon. Things are going. It's happening. Shit's getting real. Am I gonna freaking finish strong? Judging by the title of the video, I am. I finished Anne of Green Gables the night I said I was going to. Lots of freaking tabs. I absolutely really enjoyed this book. I gave it a 4 stars. I just don't feel like I can give it a full 5 stars the way other people can. And I think it's just like a nostalgic factor that I never got to experience when I was a kid. I just don't have that nostalgic factor that other people do. But I just think it's a really well-written classic that just gave me utter happiness and joy and cozy feelings while reading it. And you know, it's an 8-book series, and Brittany says really the only ones worth reading, in her opinion, are the first 3. So I am at least going to read those, but I also know that once I get invested in something, it's hard for me to not just follow through. I'm definitely intrigued by how this ended, and I do really want to continue on at least with the 2nd and 3rd book pretty soon, because I really do love Anne. She has such a great personality. I love how talkative she is, and like she kind of reminds me of myself a bit when, you know, I'm an introverted person, but when I'm around someone I'm super comfortable with, I can talk their freaking ear off and I can just talk about freaking anything. That's why I have a YouTube channel. I think Anne and Gilbert have a freaking academic rivals situation that is so freaking cute that I'm so excited to explore further in the other books. And everyone says they're so freaking cute because they have a slow burn romance, and obviously they're gonna have a spark and something cute in the future books. So the other book I finished the same freaking day as Anne was my audiobook, which was Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant. I gave this one a 4 stars as well. It was just a fun, enjoyable read. And, you know, whenever my head was hurting, I could just pop this on and it was nice. The main character, I did really like her, but she also made a lot of mistakes. I didn't really like how she was going after a dude that had a girlfriend, even if the girlfriend wasn't the nicest person in the world. I've been in the shoes of the girlfriend, and, you know, it's not cute when someone's trying to do that to you. I was annoyed by that choice, but also she's a 16-year-old girl that makes mistakes, so I enjoyed seeing her learn and grow. And also, this is going to be a duology, so this did end off very abruptly, but I didn't really mind it because I feel like the next book is going to be so freaking good. I feel like we're going to see this character be explored, and like the next book is going to be 10 times. The next day. It is the final day of the readathon and everything, and I know the last clip ended really abruptly. My dad just ruined the clip, and it's really hard to film when you live with your family on the weekend. So I am trying again. I was talking about how I finished Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant, and I was talking about how the main character is, you know, a normal teenager who has a lot of flaws, and I really like that because every freaking person ever has a lot of flaws and does annoying things. Like, you know, like this character, she is going after a dude that has a girlfriend, and you know that's annoying, but she learns her lesson, and you know it's stupid. But I feel like she ends up realizing it in the end. You know, it's whatever. It annoyed me, but I ended up enjoying it anyways, and like I enjoy the character in general overall, and I feel like the sequel, like I was saying, is just going to be something I really enjoy, and I feel like it's doing that To All the Boys I Loved Before thing, where we're going to see her and the love interest progress over the 2 books, hopefully, unless it's like a companion and we're following different characters that we were introduced to. But I'm really hoping it's still following her and we're going to see her story continue and seeing her as a writer because this is about her getting in a writing slump. Like, she has a writer's block situation in here. It's kind of sad because I loved the situations when she actually was writing in this book, but most of this book she wasn't able to write. So whenever she actually was writing, I was really enjoying it because, you know, I'm a writer sometimes. Sometimes I'm like normally not actually writing, okay? The love interest that we actually had in here, he was really cute. He's a baker, and I just thought he was a lot of fun, but you know, I feel like once again this sequel will explore a lot more, and I just feel like her family dynamic and everything, there's just a lot to love here, and I cannot wait to see where this goes. The next thing I picked up, I had a bad headache like during an entire day, so I picked up a book and read it all in one day, and that was Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. Now this one intrigued me because it is about a bisexual main character. She has a little business going on in her high school where she gives love advice. People put it in this locker. It's like an anonymous situation where they put letters through a locker, and she emails them back and gives them relationship advice, and it kind of reminded me of this show called Sex Education, and I really like that show. It's on Netflix. It's a really good show. The title of it sounds scary, but it's a really fun teen show, and it's a lot of fun. And there's a similar situation where a teen is giving advice like anonymously, kind of anonymously, and it's just a lot of funny situations that happen because of that. That whole premise sucked me in from the start because I do love that show and it's a very similar vibe. This also was a really interesting read because it is a bisexual girl, and it was dealing with the idea of a bisexual girl who has a crush on a girl but ends up with a guy in the end. And it's not like a spoiler, like it's kind of, the author makes it really clear and the premise and everything, like that this is supposed to be a romance with her and a guy. In the queer community, it's like there's like a lot of biphobia about how, I don't know, people just make you feel like you don't like belong if you're in like a straight or hetero presenting relationship when you're bisexual. So that's kind of like what this is poking at, like the biphobia. And I really liked how this was done, and I think that this is something I'm going to recommend a lot because of that whole conversation that this book was having. And I gave it 4 stars. It was something super quick and easy to read in one day. Nothing like out of this world brilliant. It didn't like rock my world or anything with the romance side of it. Macy, oh my god, my dog is flipping. My dog is flipping. Yeah, there was like an Australian dude that she had a romance with, and it wasn't anything like out of this world amazing cute or anything, but it was something enjoyable. And I think the conversation that we had in this book was something that we don't really see a lot of, and it was something I greatly appreciated seeing. So I definitely think I will be recommending this book in the future. And I actually own another Sophie Gonzalez book. I ended up getting the audiobook for this as well because not the next day, but the day later, I had another really bad headache where I just needed to read another audiobook in one day. Yeah, I did that. Only Mostly Devastated by Sophie Gonzalez. I read this in one day. My friend Brittany really freaking loves this book. This is a book, like, she bought me this for my birthday, I think last year. And I just now got around to reading it, and honestly, I only gave it a 3 stars. That does not mean it's bad or anything. This is like a solid read. It just wasn't something that wowed me or anything. I definitely preferred Perfect on Paper, and this is supposed to be like a Grease retelling. I've never seen Grease. Don't kill me. I honestly have no interest in it, and after reading this book, like, I have no idea what the Grease related thing was. Like, I have no idea what the connection was. Who knows if I will ever watch Grease, because I really don't care. And I saw like other reviews of people who never watched Grease. Like, you don't have to watch Grease to read this book. It's like a thing that you could do if you want, though. The situation behind this book is a summer fling between 2 dudes. One of them is from California. They were in North Carolina for the summer because the main character, Ollie, his aunt Linda is suffering from cancer at the time, and he's like visiting her. And then he meets this guy named Will during the summer, and Will's not currently out, but he meets Ollie, and I guess because Ollie's gonna be leaving, he just feels comfortable to have a fling with someone who he's not gonna see again. So that's what happens, and then they never see each other again, blah blah blah. But then Ollie's coming and he's moving to North Carolina, which, by the way, I live in North Carolina, and this North Carolina is written from the perspective of an Australian, so that was kind of funny to read because there were some things that just made me laugh, and you know, nothing bad or anything, like it wasn't absolutely trash or anything, but there's just a few lines that just made me laugh. What ends up happening is Ollie ends up moving to North Carolina because of his Aunt Linda and the cancer situation. They just want to move closer. The whole summer fling happened, so Ollie and Will are now in the same town, in the same high school, and they never thought they would see each other again, and now they're having to deal with each other. Honestly, for me, my main issue with this book that just gave the 3-star vibe was I just feel like since we opened up this book where they already had their summer together, I feel like I never got that romantic connection. I never felt like connected to the romance. I never felt the chemistry. We already had the summer fling, and there was like a few like excerpts or sections where we got little periods, or I don't know what is the word. They gave us a few paragraphs every now and then of their summer, but it just wasn't enough for me to feel connected to their story and their romance, and I just never really felt connected. That's what I keep saying, but I just never really felt the vibes between them. And you know, I felt for them individually as characters for what they were going through, but as a romance story, I never really was there for that. But all of the characters individually, for all the struggles they were going through as people, like, I'm not an evil-hearted person. Like, I feel for these people. Like, that shit sucks. I wanted something cuter, to be honest, and it just did not do it for me. I am so sorry I didn't vlog more. It's just my brain hates me and it explodes. But we are going to update us on the bingo board. We are almost done. Because guess freaking what? Y'all saw me read it, Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and I read some more of it last night. I have like 60 pages of it left, and I didn't want to read any more of it today until I got to update you guys on everything. I'm loving this freaking book. This book is everything to me. I am loving the chronic illness rep. Like, that is making me so happy. I have not seen like a lot of chronic illness things, and if you have any other recommendations for things similar with chronic illness, things like Chloe Brown, similar to the things that she's going through, I would really appreciate that, because I don't have fibromyalgia, but that doesn't mean like some of her symptoms don't connect to things that I have experienced, because I'm recently still going through the process of like trying to find medications for all the things that I have, and it's really freaking annoying because I literally am still struggling, and this is freaking killing me. I have a bunch of yellow tabs in here for things that I relate to, and I've never been spoken to so hard about when she was explaining like when she first like developed the illness, and you know, also talking about like not wanting to hang out with people because of just how like things just started happening to her body, and like things just, she just couldn't control what she was feeling. Like, she was just so sick, and like it just wasn't working. So why would she ever want to make plans, you know? So this speaks to me. This is such a good book, and the romance is cute too. It's a ginger. I have a ginger in my life too, so this is just a all-around freaking good book. So I'm excited to finish it today, and it is going to complete all of my freaking challenges. It's going to be my 15th book of the freaking month. Isn't that crazy? I know, I'm freaking excited too. And we're going to see if I finish it. I'm going to finish it. It's literally, I don't have my watch on. I literally just checked for a watch and I don't even have it. Hey everyone, it is 11 at night, so the readathon is almost completely over. May is almost over. It's almost Pride Month. It's almost my birthday month. I'm super duper freaking excited. Yes, I finished Chloe Brown in the afternoon. Like, it was a bit ago, and you know, I went and ate dinner. Like, it's been a moment, and I am updating you now because there's literally no other opportunity that was any quiet period in my house, so this was the only moment that I could find that I could speak to you. I wanted to speak to you a little bit more and articulate my thoughts more about how much this book means to me, because I gave it a 5 stars. I think it's pretty clear that I really love this book, and I used this bookmark that I got from Sabine's Book Nook. She's an Etsy shop and a book too, and there's like a little Get a Life with Chloe Brown picture on it, so it's super cute, and I'm so glad that I ended up loving the book because I have a bookmark with it on it. I just want to express more about how deeply I freaking love this book, because not only is it a cute romance, and I feel like I was kind of diving into that earlier, but I got a little nervous because shit was going on in my house, but there's also just talk about chronic illnesses, and I'm currently trying to go through and explore chronic illnesses in my life. You know, I'm in the search for medicines and things that work for me. I'm currently in that stage of just figuring out what works for me and what makes me feel good and what like things I need to do to help with my symptoms. So I still haven't fully figured out what I need to do in my life to make my life work. So I'm still in this awkward stage of like so many bad days, and like as you all saw, like I had that huge gap of where like I had like migraine days, and I read like a whole book in one day because I was able to at least just listen to a book while I just laid there and did nothing because I couldn't open my eyeballs. I have migraines, and then I have another like illness that not a lot of people know about, so I just don't really feel like discussing it on the internet just yet because it's weird. It has a lot of like symptoms that overlapped with hers that I could relate to, like fainting and things like that. Like she just like dizziness and, you know, like just things that she would just mention that I have experienced, and I have never experienced that in a book before. And like I mentioned earlier, just the lines of her explaining like the way that this kind of ruins like your social life and just every other part of your life, because you know, how do you get around town? Like, how do you continue the relationships in your life, the friendships, your romantic relationships? Like, how do you trust people? Because some people just don't understand and don't navigate these situations correctly. This really got me. It says, but when I asked for help, no one would listen. I'm lucky my family believed me because for years they were the only ones. I remember one doctor asked me to speak with my father, even though I was an adult. He told my dad I was physically fine, but they should look into my mental health. That's another thing, is you can't see the pain. So it's so hard to diagnose the pain. So it takes years and years and years to find the correct diagnosis, and it's so hard to get doctors to believe you, and it's just like traumatic experiences coming from that. And then like obviously mental health issues sprout from this too, and I've experienced that too. And you know, like it literally, the discussions here were just so beautifully done, and the male character I don't know why I said it like that. I loved how he interacted with Chloe and her illness. Like he was really great too. And this book, I wanted to mention, I love how it has both of their perspectives, Chloe and Red's, because I really like books that have both characters' perspectives, and they both have issues. They're both flawed characters. They both have things that they struggle with, and we get to see both characters struggle with their lives and their daily problems. And I love being able to dive in both of their heads and just see what makes them do the things they do. And we get to see like, you know, like why, what these conversations, like what, the arguments that they have, like we understand deeply like why this argument even happened, because the trauma these characters have experienced, like deep pain freaking is behind it. Like, oh my god, I just love these two characters so deeply, and like I care for them so much, and I just felt so seen in Chloe as a character. Like I relate to her so freaking much, and I would love to find more books like this. So if there's any other books that have like illnesses like this, or just anything related to something like this, please let me know, because I was wowed. And like, especially migraines, like I literally don't see anything like that, and I definitely have chronic migraines. I have those for real. She mentioned those quite often, so that was great to see. I did freaking finish the readathon. We have completed all the challenges. I know I did not read Take a Hint, Danny Brown, but I did read extra shit, so I decided for the slow burn romance challenge, I used that with Happily Ever Afters. You know, like, I read extra shit when I didn't need to, and I do want to read Take a Hint, Danny Brown. Like, I definitely want to read this because I loved Chloe Brown so freaking much. So I'm definitely going to be reading it soon, maybe even in June. Like, I read 10 books in this readathon. 7 of those completed the challenges. So I did extra shit in 2 weeks for this readathon. I am a crazy, amazing person. So we can just go through what I read this freaking week if you need a refresher. So I finished up The Bone Witch. I gave it a 4-star. It was freaking good. And what else I do? What else did I freaking do? Oh, I read A Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow by Laura Taylor Namey. I gave it a 3-star. It was just okay to me. Then I read Happily Ever Afters by Elise Bryant. I gave it a 4-star. It was pretty good. It was pretty cute. I enjoyed my time. Then I read Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. Pretty cute and cozy. There was really nothing wrong with it. Like, it was just absolutely freaking phenomenal to me. I don't really know why I didn't give it a 5-star. It just wasn't a 5-star. Then I read Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. I gave this a 4 freaking star. Read this during my migraine all in one day. We love that for me. Then I read Only Mostly Devastated, also by Sophie Gonzalez. Just reading her freaking books for some reason randomly. Didn't plan on it or anything. And I gave this one a 3-star. It was just okay. Didn't really wow me or anything. And then I read, obviously, Get a Life, Chloe Brown by my woman, my new favorite author, or my new author that I'm super excited to continue trying out, Talia Hibbert. I'm super excited to continue reading her books because obviously I really loved this book. This book was so freaking amazing. So I read 7 books in 1 week, even though I like barely had any of that left. But whatever, I feel freaking powerful. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know if you read any of these books before, and if you enjoyed them, hated them, let me know all your thoughts down below. Like this video, comment down below, have a good day, please subscribe, make sure to follow all my social medias, which are linked down below, and make sure to click the bell button, which is right by the subscribe button, which is shit already clicked, and goodbye.